Pack Horse family, look, in life, man, in life, you go be offended. In life, you go do some offending too. And you may not mean to, like, it don't take much to offend people. All it takes is you doing something that they don't like that you did to them. And then they offended. Like you know, you might have been coming from the purest of spot. You might have been coming from with good intentions, but when you offend somebody, you offend them, you know, and you just gotta take that, you just gotta take that knock on the chin, not take it personal, and just keep going, you know. And that's just how life is. Like, you go offend, you go be offended, you go win, you go lose, you go cry, you go smile. You know, that's just life, and that's just how it is. You know, and it's like doing updates on your phone sometimes, you know. Like, I found out with these phones, like, if you don't update the important apps that you use, like, sometimes it affects the workability of your phone. But oftentimes when you do the updates, it just causes another problem and another update. Because, like, if you pay attention to these apps, man, you got to update them pretty often. Like, you could be to update them just 3 days ago, and you got to update them again. You understand what I'm saying? But, like, that's like life too, man. Sometimes you got to update today, you might have to update again tomorrow. You know, sometimes you might think you solved the problem and it still presents itself to you again tomorrow. And you got to come up with a new way to solve it, or to try to help solve it. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's difficult when you're dealing with people. But think about this, though. Think about this, Pack Horse family. I was thinking about this. Like, when it comes to jobs, and people try to get, you know, managerial spots, and you know, different little leadership positions, and if you don't have that type of leadership that they looking for on paper, or that type of managerial spots that they looking for on paper, like, you won't get the job, right? Because we live in a world where they judge you off of your paper experiences. You know what I'm saying? Off of your experience on paper, and not your real life experience. But look, don't having children, and don't, like, dealing with your siblings and your friends, don't that all count for something? Like, really, your children. Like, because if you got children and you got multiple children, you know, like, you dealing with multiple different personalities, right? You can't treat this one, I mean, you can treat them the same and all that, but you gotta, how do I want to put it? Like, you love them all the same, you love them all the same, but you got to treat them differently according to their personality traits, right? And that's the same thing as, like, with a job, and when you deal with people, that's the same thing as your friends. You probably got multiple friends, and you probably can't have the same conversation with this friend that you can have with that friend, right? You can't have the same conversation with this coworker that you can have with that coworker, right? It's just a matter of balancing out personalities, balancing out what you got on the inside, and using it all together to work toward the common goal and the common good, and trying to get along with your fellow man and woman, right? Like, everybody got some managerial experiences, man, that's been living life, and that's just a fact. Understand what I'm saying? And it's like, but still, it's like, people may not listen to you the way you want them to listen, but just trust the process. Trust the fact to know that people are listening to you. And once they arrive here, then something may click with them. But until then, like, you just got to stay consistent in what you do. You know, you just got to stay consistent in what you do. You got to know that you're making a great impact on this world. You got to know that your presence is felt. You got to know this no matter what, Pack Horse family, no matter what. Like, you're resilient. You more than enough. Pal, you strong enough to get through whatever you need to get through. Understand? Like, you strong enough, right? You strong enough to pick that shovel up and dig your path down to where you trying to go, right? Down to where you trying to go. And just know that, Pack Horse family. But I was just thinking about that. Y'all know how I kick it impromptu sometimes. And sometimes the thoughts come, you know, where I take them and I write them down. But this one was fresh from the mind. And I just clicked on here and came to y'all real quick. But y'all know how it is. You already know what I'm going to say. Peace, success, and prosperity to the next one.